Welcome, everyone, to PFL Tournament 6, the semifinals. Main event is Kevin Lee versus Gadzhi Rabadanov. We're going to break down these fights, and we're going to give you our opinions. Last week was terrible. Our reads were completely wrong. We picked favorites. They lost. We picked underdogs. They lost. This happened last year where we had one event where we were just wrong the entire time. It was the Salt Lake City card at Elevation where every fighter died in the ring. Yes. It was just one of those, like, we couldn't pick a winner, and that's fine. It happens. That's why you protect your bankroll. That's why you don't have 50% of your bankroll on one card. So we're getting right back after it. So, guys, hit the like button. Leave us a comment. Tell us what your best bets are for the week. So, Jim, any takeaways that you had from last week besides just it was a bad week? Our reads were completely wrong.
Well, I think it's just one of those weeks, and I think the weight classes also have a lot to do with it. Again, you have those weeks that you're snake bitten. You know, Salt Lake, we had one win, and it was Impa in the main event who almost got knocked out in the first.
Who was losing?
So he was losing badly, badly. So look, I know it's frustrating. I know it's upsetting. We had one losing week last season. This was our losing week. So like we always say, like after a losing week, I love to come back and be like, all right, we're good enough. We know what we're doing. Just stick to it, stay the course, and at the end of the season, we'll be profitable in PFL again.
Yeah, our goal is to hit 58 to 60% of MMA bets. That means we're losing 40% of the time, and you're still going to make a killing at the end of the year. So let's get into it, guys. Let's start with the main event here. Gadzhi is minus like 2,000. Him by finish is insanely high. I can't make a case for Kevin Lee. That's flat. I can't make one single case for Kevin Lee. Can you?
None. Zero.
No.
Zero.
None.
I can't. There's a connection here. Kevin Lee fought in Eagle FC. So they need an opponent for Gadzhi. It's a shame that his original opponent couldn't get there, especially after winning his fight. J.J. Wilson is out of this spot. Now, I don't think J.J. Wilson was going to fare so well against Gadzhi.
No.
But look, Gadzhi is one of Khabib's guys. Eagle FC was Khabib's promotion. There's a relationship here. And not like, we were on The Ultimate Fighter together. We had the same coach. No, these guys, it was boss-employee. Okay? Khabib's the boss. Kevin was the employee. This is also his first time at 155 in 7 fights, I believe. I believe a lot of them were at middleweight, welterweight. I think Kevin is showing up for a paycheck. He's going to give it his all. Of course he is. But it's not going to be enough. Gadzhi is, would you say he's the best fighter in PFL?
It's so hard to compare fighters in different weight classes. I think that's like trying to pick, the best NBA player when, how can you compare point guards and centers? It's completely different skill sets. But, yeah, Gadzhi's amazing, man. He's amazing. Like, he can win decisions, he can finish guys, and he keeps getting better. I mean, what he did to Mark Diakese, which was easily predictable, I'm not saying 32 seconds he's going to do it to Kevin Lee, but I think he gets Kevin Lee out of there.
Yeah, I agree. I like the under 2.5 and get off that Gadzhi line.
Love the under 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's lined pretty close. Also, we're waiting on finish props coming out here. I think Gadzhi by finish can most certainly be in your parlays. We'll see if the books give it to us.
Yeah,
they're a little stingy with
price.
PFL, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, it's Gadzhi, man. I think he goes to the championship fight and probably wins it.
Speaking of unders, Liz Carmouche is fighting Elora. I just watched face-offs. I think Liz Carmouche is legit going to hurt Donna. And you've heard the phrase, call your shot. Liz Carmouche literally called her shot in her last fight. She wins with strikes to the body, and afterwards she said, yeah, there's some few things I haven't done in my career that I want to, and one of them was getting a KO by body shots. She literally tried to go out and win by body shots, and she did in the first round. Now, against a terrible fighter. Donna's not a terrible fighter, Jim. This woman leaves her chin so high in the air. She's fought a who's who of nobodies. And Can you tell the story about the no nutritionist?
Oh,
With
yeah.
Liz?
So Liz Carmouche, veteran of 31 professional fights, 40 plus years old, just this season has hired a nutritionist and a strength and conditioning coach.
Amazing.
Just now. This is a woman who fought Ronda for the first women's fight ever in the UFC. I mean, how do you wait this long? How?
And it hasn't.
Please do this soon.
And it hasn't hurt her. That's what's crazy is it hasn't hurt her.
I mean, it just shows how dedicated that she is to the sport, even at her age. She's here for, like she said, a bucket list thing. I want to get these finishes. I want to get this belt, this title. Let's face it, Liz isn't long for the sport, but she has some work left to do, and she's motivated to do it. She obviously is. It's costing her money to hire these people.
Yeah.
So you're not motivated if you're not, diving into the old checkbook there and paying some people to actually manage your career for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think Donna's going to be way over her head. 8-0, fought nobody. Go back and watch her last fight in PFL, and my God, I mean, a benefit of really, really good matchmaking. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we're waiting for Carmouche by finish to come out. I mean, you might also look at Carmouche.
Just came out.
Finish round 1. Do they have Carmouche by finish?
Just came out.
And what's the
Plus
verdict?
120. Plus 120.
Wait, what?
Plus 120. Was checking while you were talking. Plus 120.
Plus money on Carmouche by finish?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in on that one. All right, let's move on to plus 120. All right, Andy, focus. All right, let's talk Mansour, Barnaoui, Archie, Colgan. We love Barnaoui fights because this is the Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Like, is he gonna be tired? Is he gonna be awesome on the ground? Like, what are we gonna get from Barnaoui? So, if you like betting on a guy who who his equivalent is? It's kind of Kevin Hollandish. In the first minute of the fight, you immediately know if your bet's dead or if it's gonna win.
Correct.
Barnaoui is the guy. What's your take on this one?
He is like Kevin Holland, but he's the total opposite. Because I can't get a darn Barnaoui fight figured out to save my life. So it's the opposite. My take on Barnaoui is you don't know what you're going to get. This is a guy who has won $1 million before. He has the money. This fight was canceled. This was supposed to be the main event in the France card. And they completely canceled PFL France, the whole card. Turns out that he was brought up on domestic battery charges. Those charges since have been dismissed. Take that for what you will. But that's why they pulled this entire card. So this fight right here was supposed to be the main event of a whole nother PFL card. Again, just an example of PFL just making things way more difficult than they need to be in promotion. Now, Archie is 11-0. And we watched his last fight. And what did we say coming away from that fight? Archie's not going to be undefeated, man.
No, that O is going to go real soon.
It's going to go real soon. It's a darn shame that it's Barnaoui that he's fighting because I just can't trust this guy. I don't know if you're going to have live lines. It's going to depend on your book. But I know you're watching this fight with the live lines open. I'm going to pick Archie Colgan just because I know that his cardio is going to hold up. That's the big nightmare with Barnaoui. I think cardio can get him to a decision. But this 11-0, this is not going to last forever for Archie Colgan.
Can you talk a little bit stylistically about these two guys? Because I know there's a lot of guys that watch it really don't know stylistically.
Okay, sure.
These guys. Diehardos for UFC pretty much know the style, but what are the PFL styles?
Barnaoui is a straight-up jiu-jitsu ace. However, he doesn't have the cardio to hold it up for 3 rounds unless he's against somebody who's throwing no resistance, i.e., Alfie Davis, who he just fought. Archie Colgan is a decorated NCAA wrestler. So you can already kind of put 2 and 2 together here. Barnaoui is going to get taken down. He is going to fight back with jiu-jitsu. And 90% of the time, the wrestler outdoes the jiu-jitsu guy. It's just the way it is. They have the better cardio and the better pace. Colgan's trying to get his striking going, but it's still very basic. It's like a 1-2. He'll mix in a left hook here and there. Big size advantage for Barnaoui. I just think that the NCAA wrestling is going to be enough to tire out Barnaoui, and then he's going to be in trouble. I think I said Barnaoui way too many times in that breakdown.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Stylistically, Liz Carmouche and Elora. Liz Carmouche, her striking has gotten better, but her bread and butter is the takedowns. She can win this anywhere. Donna, when Donna strikes, most guys, Jimmy, they teach you to tuck your head. No, Donna's the opposite. She throws a strike and her head goes way in the air for that shit. She got knocked down in her last fight. So, that's a stylistic breakdown there. Let's move on to Marcirley, Alves, and Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley, what's up with this? What are we doing with these former UFC fighters that are in PFL? We've seen a little of both. Impa is obviously the best case of the spectrum. Dia Casey's probably the lowest end of the spectrum. His PFL career at this point is 32 seconds long. What do you make of Alves and Hadley here? Let me look, what are the lines? While you're talking about this, I'm going to look up the lines here real quick. Hadley's minus 166.
So Alves comes in and pulls the massive upset in the main event against his training partner. That fight, that card was the one where, 4 fights got canceled? It was just shuffle crazy around. All of a sudden, Higo's fighting Alves.
Higo.
They've trained together before. Higo gets caught in the first round and just almost gets put out. I mean, out on his feet. Still manages to work his way to a split, which is mind-blowing. Alves kind of was who we thought he was. I would say we didn't see anything special. Good striking. The takedown defense was good, but the takedowns from Hugo were just ugly takedowns. I mean, from 10 feet away, trying to get him up against the fence. So he definitely had more pep in his step and his movement. Jake Hadley comes in. Land of misfit toys here, cast away from UFC. And boy, does he start looking like he's got a home, man. He looks like he's got a home here. It looks like PFL's backed him. We haven't heard any of the drama that followed him through UFC, so maybe he's matured a little. He's had no problem making weight at all. Not a problem whatsoever. When these guys faced off, Jake Hadley looks huge compared to Alves. Huge.
He really did. I was stunned.
Yeah, and tomorrow he's going to look even bigger. Higo also is an aging bantamweight. Let's keep that in mind. Jake Hadley is in his prime. He's not 36 years old at bantamweight. So I was ready to fade Hadley at the beginning of the week. I looked into this a little bit more. I'm on Hadley here, man. I think he can mix in the takedowns, and I really think Alves is going to be in a bit of trouble with the size of Jake Hadley and the experience of Jake Hadley against top-notch competition.
I'm with you. This loss against Cameron Smotherman is still mind-boggling. I don't know how he did it when he beat Loughran. But credit to him, a round 3 submission. That's a good look, man. That's a really, really good look. So, yeah, I think I'll ride with you on this one. Let's move on to Justin Wetzell and Mando Gutierrez. My boy, Mando Gutierrez. What a strange fighter to have like a great read on. Why of all the fighters on the planet do I have such a great read on Mando Gutierrez? It makes no sense whatsoever. So, you want me to go first on
go
Mando?
For it, man. That's your boy.
So Mando wants chaos. That's how he wins fights. He's wild. He has, I can't say the worst strike defense I've ever seen, but it's non-existent. Like, if he's not throwing punches, his hands are nowhere near his face. You can hit him from wherever. And yeah, Jim was like, yeah, you broke down this newsy Gutierrez fight to a T. This thing didn't get out of the first round, and both guys their faces were all messed up. Like, Gutierrez won, and he's the guy that's standing there with his hand raised, and it's like, God, that guy won? But he's all bloodied up and everything. So he has no striking defense. He wants to make this a car crash, and Justin Wetzell is just not going to let that happen. Justin Wetzell is much more controlled. Justin Wetzell pushes guys up against the fence, likes the wrestling, likes the clinch. And I think Mando's going to try and come out real strong, real fast, and I think he's going to be the guy that takes too many shots at the bar as soon as the bar opens, and all of a sudden it's 8:30 and you got to get this guy an Uber. That's my take on Mando Gutierrez. I think Wetzell weathers the early storm, and Gutierrez obviously gets the finish. He wins. He has to win the first round. He has to win the first round because Wetzell is probably going to win rounds 2 and 3 with the clinch, the wrestling, and wearing Gutierrez down. I see Gutierrez completely gassing himself and kind of looking foolish at times when he throws so wild and doesn't hit, and then Wetzell gets a takedown or pushes him up against the fence. To me, it's Wetzell all day. I trust Wetzell. I saw him at face-offs, and Wetzell's going to be bigger than him, which is just another massive red flag for Mando Gutierrez. So it's Justin Wetzell all day for me in this one.
You nail it. Mando's face looked like he fought 6 Noonsies in the last Noonsie fight.
And if Newsy was fighting with hammers, it was round 1.
I call him Nunzio because how can I not? He's from Italy. You got to call him Nunzio. Shout out to ECW circa 1996 right there. He's a bad fighter.
The Berserker is his next.
Oh, that's perfect. No, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Mando doing the interview at the end, I just was looking at him going, how did this guy win the fight? He just beat the hell. If you listen to their interviews at Face Off, Mando said, we're coming for a war. And Wetzell said the same thing. So you can be damn sure this fight is going to boring decision. Okay? It's going to be Wetzell. It's going to be Wetzell.
Anytime we hear that.
Yep. Holding up against the fence, getting some takedowns. Wetzell did shave his head to make weight. Love the fact that he
saw
did
that.
Because he had a ton of hair to cut off, which means he didn't suck himself dry after that. I like Wetzell, man. I like Wetzell. We could be seeing Justin Wetzell in the championship fight. Justin Wetzell and Jake Hadley. PFL, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Oh, my God. I didn't even put that together. Mm-hmm. Or is Mando going to be in the...
Mando against Jake Hadley. Oh, I don't know what I want.
Yeah. Well, I want Wetzell because I will be betting on Wetzell for sure. So, all right, Brent Primus and Alfie Davis. This is an interesting one. I love your breakdown on this. This is pretty cut and dry, isn't it?
I think it's really simple. If Brent Primus gets his game going, Alfie Davis is getting choked out. If Alfie Davis gets his game going, he's probably going to knock out Brent Primus. I know Alfie's not like the big knockout artist, but my God, Brent Primus' stand-up has looked just absolutely horrible. It's not getting better.
It's gotten worse.
How could it get better at 40?
40.
Your reaction time is not going to get better. Your combinations aren't going to get better. He's got one combination. He's got a really lazy jab, and then he's got a 1-2 with a left hook on it. That is all that Brent Primus has for striking. Every once in a while, he'll throw a leg kick that looks bad. It doesn't hurt the guy. It just touches him. But it does. Yeah. He uses it to set up the wrestling. Alfie Davis has diverse strikes. I like this fight not to go. I personally, I am not betting Brent Primus at this number. I can't believe that he's this much of a favorite against Davis. I know Davis got taken down and held down by, I'm going to say his name again, Barnaoui. But Brett on the feet is just, it scares the hell out of me, man. And then they face off, and Davis is way bigger. Way bigger. Did you hear Alfie at face-offs?
Yeah.
He said, you want to wrestle, let's wrestle. Okay.
Be careful what you ask for there, Alfie.
I think it's total BS. You don't want him to wrestle.
No, of course not. No way.
I think this is a real interesting fight, and have your live lines open. Because if he can't get the takedown, I think Alfie Davis is way more live than people think.
We're going to break down Jena Bishop and Shakalova, and then we'll blow through the rest of the card. Again, guys, we have our UFC and PFL pack that is up. Yeah, coming off a losing week. Again, we're going to tell you when we win. We're going to tell you when we lose. We're still number one at Wager Talk in MMA profits. I get excited when we're coming off a losing week because they don't happen that often. So come off a losing week, we go right back to it. Nothing changes about our breakdowns. Nothing changes about the way that we approach it. So we're combining UFC and PFL this week because it's a sketchy card in UFC with where it's at geographically, and these are some weight divisions that can have some upsets in PFL. So what we're doing is just combining it. This is going to be kind of one of those like low quantity type of weeks, like maybe just a couple plays. But that's what we do to build the bankroll. So invite you to join us there. $25 get you all of our plays for UFC and PFL. So join us there, wt.buzz/AL. Again, #1 in profit still on Wager Talk. And we've held that since the beginning of the year. Since the first card, we've held #1. We are very, very proud of that. Wire to wire, Jim. Let's go wire to wire. And every single week, let's continue at that #1. So. All right, let us move on here to Jena Bishop and Shakalova. What say you on this matchup?
So this is something that I've been sniffing out in PFL. The highly public dog.
Okay.
That gets bet all the way down, but then the lines don't let it flip. They don't let it flip to a total, flip-flop of the line. So Jena Bishop came down. She was an underdog for 6 hours. And then money comes back in on her. And Shakalova.
Let me look up what. So Jena Bishop's -130 right now at the time we're recording this.
Yeah, so it's coming back the other way. Shakalova was the favorite as of last night. So it's coming back the other way. And like we said, with the PFL lines, I mean, money can move these lines. It is legitimate movement by places. Big groups could move lines very, very easily. It just smells fishy to me. It smells fishy. Last week we saw the same thing with Jeremy Kennedy, where he was the big, public dog, got bet all the way down to a favorite, loses the fight. I just don't trust public dogs in PFL. I don't. So the scary part is I do like Shakalova in this matchup, but now I'm just flat out off. So I'm going to be off as far as the bet goes. I do think this fight goes to decision, and we've seen Jena Bishop figure out a way to win decisions. I think this is going to be one of those really close fights where a lot of people are sitting on plus money Tivix for Shakalova, thinking it's unanimous. And like you said earlier tonight, Judge 1 scores it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So no bet for me. I would lean Bishop.
Style-wise, Bishop is obviously
Style-wise, you have
wrestling, takedowns, get it on the ground.
Well, super grappler from Bishop. Shakalova's a great wrestler. She's strong, but this is going to be the first grappler that she's fought at this division. So people were billing Juliana. This is a great part. People were billing Juliana Velasquez as a grappler, saying that Shakalova beat a grappler in her last fight. You know Juliana Velasquez. I know Juliana Velasquez. She is not a grappler. She is a kickboxer.
Yeah.
So do your research. Do your own research. She's going to fight a legitimate grappler here, and I think it's going to be a very even matchup. If she can stay safe from the submissions and get on top of Jena, she can have success. But if Jena can keep this on the feet, Jena is the bigger girl with the bigger frame. So it'll be very interesting to see stylistically how this plays out. Does it become a striking match? We don't know.
Yeah, kind of a stay away. I like the over, but it's -230, so it's got to be a parlay piece or something. All right, let's do speed round here. Magomedov against this 16-0 Riedhoff, who I legit do not know this guy.
Simple. Fights lined even for a reason.
Nobody books don't know what to do with it.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows what to do.
Move on. Tony Caruso and Vinicius Sensi, 10-2 versus 8-3. What do you think?
Sensi is a cartoon of a fighter with canceled fights for legitimacy. On his record, that's always a red flag. However, he's fighting
record
Tony
ineligible. Record ineligible. It's
had to have three of them, right? We had to have three. He's fighting Tony Caruso, who's coming out of Australia, but he's not coming out of the high-end regional promotions. He hasn't been there for a while.
Bummer.
If he gets tired, I know it would have been a great fate of Sensi. If he gets tired in the second round, he's in deep, deep trouble.
Okay.
That's it.
Fair.
Not enough skin on the bone there.
Kelly and Hamill, you do have a take on this one.
Yes, I like Kelly. Hamill hasn't fought for, I believe, 2 years. We just last saw him in Bellator. So Hamill hasn't fought since Bellator was a thing. We can say that.
Oh, wow,
now.
Yeah. Okay. Magic Mike Hamill.
Yeah, I don't know what he's been doing.
Oh, my God. Tim Wild. Oh, wow.
Losing to Tim Wild. Big red flag. 40-year-old Tim Wild.
Wow.
He's a stand-up striker. As soon as Kelly gets the grappling going, this fight is going to be a really, really tough night for Hamill. So I think Kelly continues his rise. He's the legitimate Kelly, not Nathan Kelly, who's been finished now twice in a row. So out of that SGB Ireland prospect group, this is the good Kelly we want to bet on here.
Yeah, it's minus 258, so solid parlay piece if you're looking there. If you are juice tolerant, go ahead and lay that one. Yeah, you want to talk this women's fight?
Chaos, good luck. They're
Okay.
both really, really, really bad. That's not breaking news. Look at the records, okay?
Yeah,
Look at the
20 and
records.
16 combined for both
They're
of them.
bad fighters. God only knows. Joanne's only win went to decision, so you can't even take the under. If she is going to win, it could go to decision. Move on. Save your money.
Anything on Dominguez and Mech?
Mech is a big favorite, but cardio's an issue for me. Dominguez has proven to be tough. If this fight is close going into the second, you're looking to bet Dominguez because Mech's cardio could go off a cliff. However, his wrestling is way better than Dominguez. So, again, these early fights on these cards, guys, just let them be. Let them be. Pick your spots. Protect your bankroll.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, UFC breakdown video for UFC Fight Night. Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree is also on this channel. And thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button if you could. Just a little token of appreciation, even if you can't stand me. If you can't stand Jim, just hit the like button on your way out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Even if you hate me, even if you hate Jim, just subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. Just a little token of appreciation.
And to our one buddy from last week, I'm going to keep laughing. All right? I'll keep laughing. I'm going to keep enjoying life.
I've been told some strange things, but like somebody saying like F your laugh. Yeah.
Happy guy. What can I say?
Here's our UFC breakdown video. I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mad the whole time. So.
This Carmouche is going to win by finish in the second round.
Yeah, Liz Carmouche is gonna. Yeah,
you go.
I fear.
We'll break
for
him down
Donna,
like that.
So, yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks guys for watching. We're just kidding. We love you guys. That's not true. All right, it's not true at all. It's in the slightest. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. Good luck on your plays, and take care.
See you guys.